is the truth, though?
Well, the truth is whatever thing that you're searching for, right? So if you're searching to become world class in something, there's a truth for that, right? It isn't. There's if you're searching for how to find peace, there's a truth for that, right? If you're like, there's truths for all that. There's a key that unlocks those particular locks.
So would it be fair to say that the truth is a deeply subjective experience? Because the way I see the world through my filters and my mental models is not the same as someone else how
But
they
your
would see the
mental
world.
models are not from you; they're from the
Okay.
world, right?
Sure.
These
Sure.
mental models and all this non-intellectual garbage, it's just you didn't even, that word came to you from social media. It came to you from
Or
reading a book.
psychology, sure. Yes.
Yeah, psychology, or you weren't born with that, right? Now your bones, your femur, your lungs, your arm, your heart, those didn't come from a book. They didn't come from an influencer. They didn't come from some idiotic guy writing a book about how to get a heart, right? And that makes them real. They're natural. They're intrinsic. That makes them real. So all of this stuff. So when you say my truth is this and that, you don't really look at the world through truth. I'm not picking on you. That's just how everybody is. You could be anybody in the world. It doesn't matter. Everyone's the same, right? They're all chasers. So, like, that isn't your truth. That's your opinion. That's your belief. That's your conditioning. So the only way that, like, you would even have anything real to say, like, every time everyone opens their mouth, what are they opening their mouth with? They're opening their mouth with things that have been packed in there, that they've accumulated. They're parrots, right? Everyone's a parrot. So when you open your mouth and say X, Y, and Z, that X, Y, and Z isn't yours. Those are these mental models and stuff. This language that you've learned is language that you've picked up from the world. So it isn't. So there's no relation between that and truth. We call it my truth. There's no relation between that and truth. So I'm not saying that it's my truth. I'm saying everything has a truth. And there are some truths that are unique to a situation, and then there are truths that are absolutely foundational, and they're universal to all situations. But it's very difficult to have these kind of conversations, so I normally don't, because everyone will come at it using the baggage and the tools of the world, right? You will ask me questions based upon the same way that you ask everyone else questions. And I'm not saying I'm special, but I'm saying the truth is special. And I'm saying that nobody that you've ever spoken to speaks the truth to you, because that's not where they live. It isn't because they're bad or they're trying to trick you. No, it has nothing to do with that. That's not who they are. That isn't their life. And because of that, you're gonna bring your regurgitations of garbage. They're going to give you their regurgitations of garbage. You're going to bring your social influencer language. They're going to bring you. It's just garbage talking to garbage. Just one book talking to another book. Just one social media post talking to another social media post. It isn't reality.
But why does it matter? Like, why does the truth even matter in the first place?
It doesn't. And that's why I never recommend that anybody go towards it, right? So if you're trying to use that analogy, opening the door, it may not matter to you to open that door. But if you're standing at the door and you do happen to want to open it for whatever reason, then it matters. If you don't want to open that door, if you don't want to get inside that room, if you don't want to achieve X, Y, and Z, if you don't want to, become successful in X, Y, and Z, or even whatever you want to do, you don't have to do anything. But if you happen to want to, truth is the only real way. Everything else is spinning your wheels. So I will never say that you should go towards truth. In fact, if you corner me against a wall, I will say don't, because it's probably not for you. So I don't recommend anything. I just say where things are.
But you seem to express some frustration around the fact that the world
Oh,
is what it is.
that's because whenever I speak about the world, I have nothing but disdain. So
And
all
what
all
causes
that,
that disdain
it's
if
just
it's
like
not for the
when you
truth?
look outside and you see, if you see, something that's putrefied, your mouth um, curls in disgust because the smell, right?
Hmm.
So I could ask you, why did your mouth curl in disgust?
Fair enough. But for someone who is actually interested in seeking the truth, what would be a sign that would indicate that they are closer to realizing it?
I don't think it's about realizing the truth. I think
Then what
it's
is it
about
about?
I think it's about understanding that one's entire life is a lie.
And what
And
good will that serve?
and what good will that serve?
Yes.
Because if you don't know it, then you're going to keep living it.
Okay, so the
And how you
realizing the
can misunderstand me, how you can misunderstand me, and this is a pretty
mm,
universal statement through everything that I say.
mm,
How you can misunderstand me is to believe that I am telling you that you should either believe or look into or accept or even be interested in accepting that your life is a lie. Under no circumstances am I saying that. If you want to, you can. You might say, my life is not a lie. That's fine. Like that's fine. Like, so, but if you think your first response, how will that do any good,
mm,
suggests, it
mm,
suggests that what you're saying is that's negative, right? That isn't a
sure.
positive message. That's what that the taste coming out of your mouth, that's what it sounded like. Your reaction was to.
No, I was just amused by like, I mean, if your whole life is a lie, then great. But like, what
Well,
next? But
I'm
I get.
not. Well, if I'm not, if you say if your whole life is a lie, that means that
Mm,
you haven't recognized that your life is a lie, and also it would be wrong to assume that I'm telling you that your life is a lie and therefore you should believe me. None of those things go anywhere. If something resonates with you, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But under no circumstances is it that you should believe what I say, accept what I say, take it on faith. If it doesn't
sure.
come from your own examination, it has no relevance. It's just words. It's just more words that you're adding to your garbage bin.